4 days, 2 agendas, one unmistakable message. As Prince Harry touched down in Britain for the first time in 5 months, cameras snapped toward Windsor and every corridor rumor pointed to a possible father-son reunion. Yet the day's defining royal signal didn't come from the Duke of Sussex or from the king he may or may not see. It came from a calendar tweak at Kensington Palace. Princess Catherine would join Prince William at the Women's Institute in Sunningdale, an engagement he had been slated to attend alone in quiet tribute to Queen Elizabeth II, a proud WI member for 8 decades. On paper it was a supportive wife stepping in. In practice it was the move that set the tone, framed the narrative, and reminded the country who carries the monarchy's day-to-day load. The timing was surgical. Hours after headlines announced Harry's return, a private visit to St. George's Chapel to lay flowers at his grandmother's resting place, and an appearance at the Wellchild Awards, the Waleses appeared side by side pouring tea, trading gentle jokes, and paying homage to the late Queen's Village Hall Britain. Catherine's presence shifted the lens without a word: unity over uncertainty, service over speculation. Body language watchers noted what courtiers already know: when William and Catherine move as a pair, the speculation shrinks to fit the facts in front of the camera. A solo appearance for the heir on a day charged with Sussex-adjacent intrigue would have been a gift to rumour. A joint appearance was a polite closing of the door. Catherine's styling did the rest. The grey check dress, respectful, unfussy, unmistakably British, read as a whisper of Balmoral tartan and a nod to a grandmother-in-law who made community halls feel like staterooms. The choice walked a clean line between accessibility and authority, the exact place Queen Elizabeth stood most comfortably, cake on paper plates, resolve like granite. Where Harry's day was private, devotional, and framed by remembrance, the Waleses' afternoon was public, practical, and framed by continuity. 2 modes, both sincere. Only one of them is the future's daily work. It is tempting to file Catherine's late edition under supportive spouse, and stop there. But anyone who has watched her over the past 5 years will recognize a larger pattern. This is a future queen increasingly comfortable running interference against noise, shaping the optical perimeter so the institution looks like what it intends to be. She does it without theatrics, a schedule tweak here, a fabric choice there, a hand on William's arm at the exact moment a question is shouted across a rope line. These are small edits that become large over time. You don't blunt a narrative by arguing with it. You blunt it by giving the cameras a better picture. The setting mattered, too. The Women's Institute is not a glitter stop, it's the late Queen's native habitat, a place where lemon sponge and common sense carry the same weight as protocol. William standing there alone would have been a warm echo. William and Catherine standing there together became an inheritance in motion. Laughter with members, the gentle choreography of cups and saucers, the unhurried pace, all of it read as a promise that the Crown's public face will continue to show up at human height, even when the headlines are pulling in another direction. Meanwhile, Harry's path through the day was rightly his own: the hush of the chapel, the weight of a wreath, the sincerity of Wellchild, the charity that predates every feud and keeps calling him back for the simplest reason there is: presence matters to families who need it. He reportedly hopes to see the king during this visit. As ever, nothing is confirmed, and the logistics of security and diaries have a way of turning hope into haze. A friend's observation, that he wants his children to know where he grew up and who their British family are, rings both true and complicated. The personal and the institutional do not always share the same timetable. What Catherine understood and demonstrated is that the institution can. Her decision to join William didn't diminish Harry's private act of remembrance or his evening with Wellchild. It simply ensured that the monarchy's official rhythm did not yield the day's stage to speculation about relationships it cannot, and should not, narrate in public. This is the difference between being famous and being sovereign. Famous people answer stories with statements, sovereign households answer stories with scenes. If you're keeping score of optics, consider the geometry. A lone heir on a Sussex-charged news day creates an empty space reporters will rush to fill with what ifs. A matched pair dissolves the space. Shoulders touch, eyelines mirror, the shared smile arrives at just the moment any awkward question might have floated up and then never does. This is not manipulation, it is the soft power of composure. It's also a skill refined over years, honed through storms the public remembers all too well: the fractures of 2019, the pandemic's slow grind, the the morning in 2021 and 2022, the relentless appetite of rumor since. None of this works if the message is brittle. It wasn't. Catherine's ease with WI members, the careful listening, the unforced amusement, the tact of knowing when to let a story breathe is the kind of retail politics the royal family still does best when it's done at a trestle table. William mirrored it. Less air apparent, more good company, the smile that relaxes a room and the steel that never needs to be shown to be felt. Together they looked like a plan, not a pose. Set against that tableau, Harry's London evening read exactly as it should, duty to a cause that has used his name to open doors that matter. These are parallel tracks that do not have to collide. If a meeting with the king materializes, it will materialize quietly. If it doesn't, the day will already have been filled with something more useful than conjecture, memory honored, families seen, a nation reminded that public service comes with tea and patience more often than it comes with trumpet fanfares. There is also the simple arithmetic of the months ahead. The king continues his program at a careful clip. The heir and his wife are, more than ever, the front of house. Security realities keep the Sussexes' timetable transatlantic. In that context, Catherine's instinct to stabilize the frame when the news cycle tilts is not just savvy, it's necessary. An institution that meets scrutiny with steadiness tends to keep the public with it, especially an older public that values continuity over drama and remembers, in their bones, how the late Queen managed noise, by doing the work, again, tomorrow. If the day offered a parable, it was this: grief is personal, the crown is public, and the country will always see the difference as long as those carrying it do. Harry's quiet visit and Catherine's quiet decision were not in conflict. They were two answers to the same anniversary, one private wreath, one public cup of tea. The monarchy's future was never going to be decided at a gateside photo call or in a viral clip. It will be decided in 1,000 small choices to turn up, to steady the camera, to let the work speak a little louder than the noise. So yes, all eyes were on Windsor. And yes, the question of a father and son finding an hour remains what it always is: personal, unpredictable, private if it happens at all. But the most consequential royal act of the day was the simplest: a late addition to a diary, a united entrance at a village hall Britain that still feels like home, and a message sent without a single line read from a lectern: we are here together, and the work goes on.